On any construction site, it doesn't matter if it's a giant skyscraper or small foundation, there is one document that is king: the construction drawing. It is the single source of truth that guides every single move. Think of it as the playbook, the map, the instruction manual, all rolled into one. You get it right, the project just flows. But get it wrong, well, that's exactly what we're here to talk about.
And let me tell you, the stakes could not be higher. A single misread line, just one tiny, overlooked detail, can kick off a disastrous domino effect. All of a sudden, you're looking at tearing out work that was perfectly fine, your schedule gets pushed back weeks, maybe even months, and the budget, completely blown. And it all comes back to one moment of misreading a drawing. So where does it all go wrong? Figuring this out is the real key to stopping these mistakes before they even happen. It's not about being some kind of perfect engineer. It's about having a system, a foolproof way to read and understand the information in front of you. And that is exactly what we are going to break down right now. Okay, let's start by thinking about these drawings as a completely new language. I'm serious. They've got their own alphabet, which is all the symbols, their own grammar for how things fit together, and a whole vocab of notes. And just like learning any new language, the most common mistakes happen with the absolute basics. So the alphabet of this language? Well, that would be its symbols. Every single line, every shape, it all means something very specific. This pattern means concrete, that one over there means steel, this circle is a light fixture. Getting a symbol wrong is like reading the word door, but thinking it says floor. You end up trying to install the completely wrong thing in the wrong place, and that is an instant recipe for rework.
Then you have dimensions. These are the absolute, non-negotiable numbers on the page. They tell you exactly how long that wall is, how far apart the beams need to be, or the precise spot for a column. There is zero, and I mean zero, room for guesswork here. Just remember, a dimension is not a suggestion, it's a command. If you overlook or misread one, I guarantee you're going to have something that just doesn't fit. And then we've got the notes. It is truly amazing how often these get overlooked. We get so focused on the lines and the numbers that our eyes just glaze over the text. But these notes are where the designer leaves you critical, specific instructions. A single note could completely change a standard symbol or dimension, maybe calling for a different installation method or a specific type of material. Ignoring the notes is like ignoring a direct order from the person who designed the whole project. And here it is, the direct link. Each of these basic mistakes, getting a symbol wrong, missing a dimension, ignoring a note, they all lead you to the exact same place: expensive rework. It is that simple. Getting these three things right is your first and your best line of defense against major headaches. All right, so once you can actually read the language on a single page, the next challenge is to connect all the different pages together. Because you see, no single drawing ever tells the whole story. The real skill is learning to see the project in 3 dimensions, even when you're just looking at a flat piece of paper. I want you to think of it like a 3D puzzle. You get a plan view from the top, a section view as if you sliced it open, and then a detail view for some tricky little connection. None of these really make total sense by themselves. The real genius is mentally putting them all together to see the final product. Honestly, this is one of the most crucial skills you can possibly develop in this field. So here's the system for building that 3D model right in your head. First, you get your bearings with the plan view. That's your bird's eye map. Next, you slice right through the building with the section views to see how everything stacks up vertically. And finally, you zoom in on the complicated parts with the detail drawings. It's moving between these 3 views, plan, section, detail, that lets you build a totally accurate mental picture of the entire structure. All right, let's get to the final piece of this puzzle. And honestly, this might be the single most common reason for errors on a busy job site. You have got to remember that construction drawings are not set in stone. They are living, breathing documents that are constantly changing and evolving.
Just look at this comparison right here. On the left, you've got an outdated drawing. Now, it might look perfectly fine, but it's missing a critical change order. If you build based on this, you're simply building it wrong, period. Now, on the right, you have the latest revision. This is the only version that matters. It is absolutely 100% your responsibility to make sure you are always working from the most current set. No excuses.
In fact, our research shows that ignoring revisions and coordination details is one of the most frequent and costly mistakes in the entire industry. Just think about that for a second. A simple check of the revision number before you start your work could save you from a world of pain. So,
After all these warnings, let's flip this around and talk about the payoff. Because when you get this right, the result is huge. When you truly master how to read these drawings, you're not just reading lines on a page, you are taking control of the project's execution.
And the rewards? They're real, and they create this amazing positive cycle. You cut down on errors, which automatically makes your execution way more efficient. That efficiency prevents delays, which saves money and a ton of stress. And all of that builds your professional confidence. You become that person on site who knows exactly what needs to get done because you genuinely understand the plans. So, I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. After everything we've just covered, from the basic language of symbols to making sure you have the latest revision, what is the very first thing you will verify the next time a set of drawings lands on your desk? Give it some thought because that one simple action could be the difference between a successful project and a very, very costly mistake.